Hi, Ramya. Good evening and welcome to the Career Compass. Thanks for taking out our time for this conversation.
Thank you so much, Anand. Good evening. It's a great pleasure coming over to your show. I've been your big admirer of your work and all the things that you do in the space of agile. So it's a really an honor for me to come on your show. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thanks for the kind word. And Ramya, you are already a great brand within the Agile community. So, what do you want to share? What does this personal branding means?
Sure. So personal branding is treating yourself as a brand. So I mean, if I have to put it in a simpler way, uh, why I say that is if you see around you, everything is a product, right? So right from the books in your background to the frame, to the shelf, to the fan, everything is a product, right? Which you have bought. Similarly, yourself are a brand or a product for someone else because someone is paying you to get the job done. That means that person is buying your time, right? That means you are a product for that person. And the reason why we say that we are replaceable is the very same reason because they treat you as a product and hence you are replaceable, right? So in that sense, you are also a product. And obviously, when we talk about a product, we need a best branded things, right? If given an option, say you have a option to buy two things, one say shoes, right? Maybe if you have option to buy a local shoes of a local brand and say for some X amount, and you're also given an option to buy a branded of a say Puma shoes of the same at the same price, you are getting both the shoes of the both the brands. What will you prefer? Obviously, the branded one, right? Why do you do that? Because you have that trust, you have that credibility in that brand, and you know that the quality is would be very good if you buy a branded shoes from Puma. Whereas in local brand, you will feel that okay, this is not what it could be, or you will be hesitant to buy, right? Similarly, if when other people treat you as a product, it's very important that you raise your bar for yourself, right? Because what will happen is the other party is also looking at a high quality product. They don't want to compromise with something less. So when they want something of the highest quality, they will look for such people, right? So that's the reason why if you want to kind of go out in the market and present your skills, in our sense, our branding is nothing but your showcase of your skill set, showcase of your knowledge, right? So if someone is coming to buy your skill set and your time, and in exchange of that they're going to pay you something, then you need to showcase that level of skill set that you are capable and you are of highest quality for someone. And that is the reason why I feel that personal branding is very important, and that's what a personal branding does to you as an individual.
Hmm. I liked how you said that individuals are product for the others. I did not have that perspective, and they treat us as a product, right? And that means we have to brand ourselves so that they choose us compared to the others as well.
Correct.
So it's nowadays like a fancy term, personal branding. I don't recollect these terms 5 years, 10 years back. Why is so much of
Absolutely.
an urgency, and what will happen if I don't do this personal branding?
Absolutely. That's a very good question. So obviously, 5 years down the line, if you ask me, even I was not into so much into say proving myself, my skill set, and so on, right? So currently, what's happening is we are living in an information age, right, where everything is accessible at your at your click. The moment you start your day and open your mobile, you have so many things going on, right? You have access to so much of an information, and information is freely available, right? So tomorrow if you want to say start something, say learn some new skill, right? You will not directly go and jump and buy a training course. You will definitely do some R&D on your own. And the R&D is nothing but you are searching for it, for the information that is freely available. So you'll definitely find out that, okay, what is available for me for free. Say on YouTube, if you open, you will have lots and lots of videos coming your way, which are providing that information regarding that particular training that you're looking for. So the information is so freely available. What's happening is everyone is collecting that information with them, but what are they doing with that, right? And since the information is available, anyone and everyone can acquire that skill set, right? So in this kind of a fish market, so to speak, in this a fish market or a skill market, who would someone choose, right? How would you stand out in this skill market, right? So if you want to stand out in the skill market, how are you going to stand? Only by uh, kind of showing out or showcasing your skills to the world, right? There is no other way. So, for an example, if we both are, say, unknown to each other, and say if you are hiring for a particular role, say if you are hiring for a Scrum Master role, right? And you would have like so many people, so many CVs and resumes in your hand. But how will you choose that which one is perfect fit in terms of skill set, right? For that, obviously, you will have to have some mechanism wherein you will find who is the right fit, right? For that, people do that personal branding. And if you don't do, you will be lost in the crowd, right? So the easiest way people do is go to the LinkedIn and recruiters. And this is what recruiters have told me, that they search on LinkedIn to see their profile and match their profile or credentials. For an example, the content that you mentioned in the LinkedIn, is it in line with what they are mentioned in the resume? And
Oh,
they would like, yeah, and they would like to also see what this person holds an opinion about in this field, right? So they would, for an example, if someone is looking at my profile as a recruiter, he or she would be interested in knowing, okay, is she knowledgeable enough? Even before that person screening me through a phone call, that person is checking my profile to see whether she has got knowledge. If yes, what is she talking about? Is she credible enough to maybe have that skill set? So these are the things that the people check nowadays to maybe qualify you for a screening. And that is the reason why, because of the skill market and information age, we are now forced, or maybe it has become an obligation for us to create our own personal branding, if at all you want to stand out from the crowd. So if you're like okay with whatever you're doing in your day job and it's okay, I don't care, I don't want to change job, I don't want to prove anything to anyone, right? Then it's okay, then you do whatever you want. But then if you really want that, even I want to be competitive enough and I want to stand out from the crowd, then definitely you will have to do something about showcasing your skill set. And that's the reason why a lot of personal branding stuff has happening in these last 5 years.
you rightly mentioned, and I also mentioned to people who come to me for trainings that your prospective recruiters are actually stalking you in LinkedIn.
Actually, yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah, they are actually stalking you. You may not know, and be the best presentable because they might be seeing what kind of conversations you get into.
Yes,
Are you, if someone is against your point of view, how do you deal with that? They are actually looking
exactly.
at those things, right? So I'm feeling good that you also resonate that same frequency. That yes, recruiters are looking into LinkedIn.
Yes, yes, and I have spoken to recruiters about it. It's not that I'm just anticipating or maybe I'm just doing a guesswork. Recruiters have told me, and I have also experienced this in the past that uh, I mean, obviously, I have not changed my job since last 3 years or so. But then, when I was searching for a job back then, 3 years ago, I could see a recruiter or a interviewer landing onto my LinkedIn to check my profile, because not everyone want to check through maybe private mode, right? So they kind of directly check your profile, so we know that this person has checked the profile. So that's what has happened. So that's the reason why I collected that information. Oh, now people are looking at the LinkedIn.
Wow. But the general perception is that these personal brandings are only for people who own their own business or consultants, and it's not for the full-time corporate employees. What is your view on that?
Not necessary, I would say. For an example, obviously, people who are, say, having their own business, for them, it's a must, right? I'll just give you an example. Say, not for someone, not or for not someone from our IT field, right? Say you, there is this doctor, right? Very qualified doctor, and the doctor is not having his or own setup, like a clinic setup, and this doctor is like visiting faculty for different hospitals, right? Tomorrow, if that doctor wants to say, uh, join another faculty, another hospital as a visiting faculty, how would that hospital know that this person exists in the first place, right? So imagine if so let me give you this example of, say, Dr. Rashmi Shetty. Dr. Rashmi Shetty is a number one skin specialist. And I mean, so much so that she's almost like a cosmetologist, right? She started doing YouTube videos and Instagram videos and all those things. I mean, she has her own setup. She is also kind of under medical council globally and internationally. She is listed in Forbes and all those things. She has got not, I mean, she doesn't need to do all these things. Still, she is doing all these videos because she wants to reach out to people, right? And she wants to create her name in this world that, okay, Dr. Rashmi Shetty is number one, say, cosmetologist, or maybe into Botox and fillers and all those things, right? So if doctors are saying that, okay, if I want to stand out in the crowd, I need to create videos and I need to show people. And what videos she is creating? Basic videos on, say, skincare. How do you wash your face and how do you moisturize your face and all those things. So even though she's famous, she's creating videos. Then obviously, us working as a full-time employee, at some point or the other, we may want to switch our jobs, right? And if you want to switch your job, then definitely you need to stand out in the crowd. And that's when your personal branding will help you. If not today, so it's not that you're doing your personal branding for now. You're doing it for future.
We say it in Hindi, right? जब प्यास लगे तब कुआं नहीं खोदा जाता है. You should
Exactly.
figure that in advance.
Yeah. Barabar.
How should we get started? So if someone who's new, how should they get started with, what do you want to share with your story and then give an advice to what others should do? How did you start?
Okay. So maybe I'll keep it short, because if I have to just share my story, it would be like a lengthy podcast in itself. So I'll just keep it crisp and short. So I started maybe realizing there is something called as LinkedIn in 2019. Before that, I did not even realize. While I was a Scrum Master in 2016 onwards, but then I never realized that there is something called as LinkedIn, and you need to kind of do that. Though I had an account created in 2008 itself, I just created and I forgot about it. I never kind of did any engagement. 2019 was when I kind of started maybe just checking the posts. When I say, I have not even started posting about it. In 2000, I just started reading other people's posts, and people who are like influential in terms of agile field, and to just gain knowledge. That was my initial agenda or my initial goal to maybe step into LinkedIn. Every day I used to go and I used to learn one simple thing, whatever it could be. It could be a smallest thing, but my goal was I learned something at least a day. So that's how I started my journey. I started engaging with people, and I did not, and I was so stupid at that time. I used to never send out connections, requests to anyone, and obviously, I mean, you will not believe if I say that I was a very introvert person. So for me, it's like I didn't want to initiate that conversation
I
first.
don't agree with that, Ramya.
Yes, I was. So I never was the person who initiates the conversation first. So I used to feel very awkward. I mean, ये क्या सोचेंगे अगर मैंने इनिशिएट किया तो what perception that person will have, ये लड़की ने क्यों मेरे को रिक्वेस्ट भेजा. So I come from that school of thoughts. So I used to never send any connection request. And I don't know, somehow I only with uh, looking at the post, reading others' posts, I slowly started liking posts or maybe writing one comment or the other, leaving one comment, whatever it could be. So I realized that I already had like 1,000 subscribers without me putting any efforts. It was my kind of a selfish goal that I want to learn, right? Personal branding was not even in my head. I didn't even know what is personal branding. So I just started doing likes and writing a small comment here and there. And people started sending out requests to me, and I was accepting. And I was so conscious that I used to not even visit their profile who has sent the request. I just accepted, and suddenly I realized, oh, why are people sending a request to me? There would be something, right? Something must be right. So I started doing that, and then I realized that why not have a engaging dialogue with other people who are posting it. So what I used to do is I used to be very conscious before writing a comment, saying that okay, if I write a comment, will I be trolled? Will I be judged? Is it right? Will I be kind of scrutinized because of my knowledge? There were so many things in my mind saying that, you know what, if I write this comment, what will happen? And I said, let me do one thing. So what I used to do is, even to write a comment, I used to literally do a lot of R&D. I used to read articles, I used to watch videos to just post a single comment. So in that process, what was happening? I was gaining knowledge. Even to write a comment, I was
Yeah.
gaining knowledge because I was doing R&D. So at some point, I mean, when the authors of the post started kind of recognizing the comment or maybe validating the stuff, right? So that's when I started gaining some confidence, saying that okay, I can maybe start. I mean, people kind of society कैसे accept करेगी, right? Society अभी accept कर रही है. So that's when I said, okay, what I can do is maybe let me try posting. So I started with small posts. It could be as small as one liner, two liner, three liner, whatever it could be. That's how I started my journey. So I kept on it. I kept going on it. I did not give up. Every single day I used to show up. Every single day. If even if I didn't have anything to post, I used to engage in others' content. And that's how I used to understand, okay, this person is this. This person has got this credibility. So these are the people who are there in this agile community. So this is how I started understanding this world. And since then, I mean, I would say I started my engagement or creating posts and all I think in 2021 or so, 2021. And that's how I started kind of gaining some traction about, and that's when people started, okay, you know what, you should do posts and all. And then I discovered some other thing over LinkedIn. So I thought, I mean, I have seen that people were conducting webinars and everyone used to come there, appear as a speaker, and they used to like, okay, let's do this. I'm going as a speaker on so and so webinar, on so and so conference, and such things. So what I did was, as a naive person, I used to apply, and I used to apply because there was I mean, there used to be a post saying that we are looking for speakers. So when I started applying for it, I used to get a reply saying that, you know what, we only invite people who are kind of, I mean, indirectly it used to say that we only invite people who are famous or people who have got some credibility.
Personal
And
branding.
yes, and it hit me so badly. And I challenged myself that, okay, now I'm not going to go after such things. And I'll ensure that I'll create a space for myself. I'll create opportunities for myself, and I'll create opportunities for others also. And that's when I started. If no one is giving the opportunity, let's create our own opportunity.
Your
And
own.
yeah, and one fine day, I remember this. I discussed with Vivek on I think December 19, 2021. That's when I decided that let's do something, and that was Thursday. We said, we discussed that let's do a webinar every Friday from our end. Let's share knowledge. Let's connect with people. Let's create our own community. We will only become our speaker, and we will give opportunities for ourselves, and we will ask people, whoever is interested, they can also come and give whatever webinars. And within no time, I also remember it was like 19 December, Thursday, and at 11 o'clock we decided this. Within few hours, I created a logo. We named it, and we put it out saying that tomorrow we are doing a webinar. We didn't even know what topic we are going to cover. We said we are going to do it. Interested people can share their email IDs, and within no time, by end of that Thursday, we had list of people who were interested in attending that training in that webinar. And our first ever webinar, no setup, nothing, not even paid one. We didn't even record it, and 32 people showed up. And
Wow.
for me, that was a very big high. I was like, my God, we did not do any advertisement. Just a day prior, we announced, and people are showing up. And that's when I understood, okay, I think this is how we need to go. And consistently, I started doing that for 1 year. So next step was, okay, now we did it successfully. People who missed it, they started asking us, did you record it? And we said, no, we didn't do that. And that's when we said, let's buy a license. Let's buy a license of some communication tool. We bought it, and we said it's an opportunity for us to put these recorded videos onto YouTube. So whatever raw videos we had, we started putting out, and we did that for 1 year. And after 1 year is when people started declining. I mean, they didn't join it. There was a time where there were less than 10 people, and that's when we decided no, we'll not do it because we are putting a lot of an efforts, and then people are not showing up. We need to stop this, and we stopped that. And then we said, okay, but then if you want to continue, and because there were people who are interested, and they were like, they started reaching out for one-on-one coachings and resume help and this and that and all those things. I said, let's do one thing, let's start podcasting. So after a year of doing that, in 2022 and towards the end, we decided that let's do podcasting, and we procrastinated because that's a big decision for us. And after procrastinating, I think in March 2023, we started our own podcasting. So we felt, and we were like, who will come as a guest for on our show, right? So that's when our personal branding helped over here. So what we did was, whatever network, whatever whichever people we had in our network, we started reaching out to them, and we said that, would you like to appear on our show? We are doing this. We have started this. So we had like we approached 4 to 5 people, including yourself, and that's how we started it. And from then onwards, we are consistently doing it. And now we started like our second show.
Wow.
So that's
Really.
what our my journey.
Yeah. It shows, and I was consistently hearing that word of persistence, right? It's
Yes,
not like something which you built in a month or 2 months. You're talking about a
not at
journey
all.
started in December 2021, and we are right now in June 2024. It's almost like two and
Correct.
a half years, more than that, right?
Yes.
Consistent
Yes.
effort, week after week.
Yes. And I'll also tell you what happened when we stopped doing that, right? For that particular period. After a year, when we stopped doing that webinars, there was a lull period from that December to March 2023, right? In that period, what happened was March 2022. So in that period, our subscribers started declining. And when we started doing kind of video podcasting much later. So first I think 6 7 months we just did audio podcast, and then we realized that okay, let's also move to video podcasting because audio is not going to sustain for a longer time because people are very visual, right? So though we say that audio podcasting is on the go and this and that, but video is going to stay. Given an option, obviously you will prefer a video training over an audio training, right? So we said let's start video as well. But when we started posting our video podcast, since there was a gap, almost a year gap, our I mean views or subscribers went down. because there was no consistency. And that's what it happens when you're not persistent and consistent. You out of mind, out of sight, out of mind. It's
Ah.
as simple as that.
So, Ramya, what makes you so persistent? Like 2.5 years showing up every week. What keeps you motivated, even when the results
Ye-
are not showing
yes, the reason I am so persistent or consistent in whatever I'm doing is because I'm doing what I love. I'm not doing something that is forced upon me. I'm not doing something which someone has told me to do. For an example, uh, you're like full-time employee, right? And you are working in an organization, and say today you are working as say agile coach or maybe scrum master. Tomorrow, organization will say that, you know what, along with this, you'll have to take some additional responsibilities, which you may not uh, you may not have skill set of, right? Or you may not be interested in doing that, but you have an option. You no, you'll have to do it because you are bound by that employment, right? But here I'm doing what I'm liking. This
up.
is what I wanted, right? That I want to maybe talk to people. I love talking to people, having a conversation and having a raw conversation, just like what we are doing, right? I don't even know what questions you are asking, you would be asking, and what I'll be saying. I have not prepared anything. So this is what I love to do. Since I'm doing what I'm loving, is why I'm consistent and persistent about. Otherwise, it is not possible for us to do a forceful thing consistently for so many years.
Hmm. That's very insightful. You do what you love. So you need to find out what you love. And that's the first step.
Yes, correct. So what our interests are, that is one thing, and not necessary that what interests you would be unique, right? So for an example, both of us are podcasters, right? So obviously, there is nothing new that we love, right? But what we are podcasting into, that's something our own niche. So we need to identify our niche. Along with interest, we need to find our niche. So when we say that interest is important as well as niche is important, because if you want to sustain for a longer period, even if there are no results, your interest will motivate you to sustain for a longer period, even though you have a niche. If you just have a niche and no interest, for an example, you would be a very good trainer, right? But you're not interested in training. You just happen to uh, do, say, PST, or maybe you got challenged and hence you did PST. And if you are now forced to kind of do trainings and CSM or whatever, every single day or maybe every single week, if you're not interested, though you have niche, you will not continue doing it, right? So
Very
first
right.
thing is so interest is very important, and then with that interest you need to find your niche. So these two things are important. Niche will also help you show your impact, right? Because if you don't have niche, what are you going to talk about or what are you going to write about, right? So you are interested in so many things. Say you are interested in, say, writing about agile leadership or agile coaching or scrum master. Say, I'm talking about LinkedIn post, right? But you don't have a niche in that. You don't have a knowledge in that. So what will you write about it? So again, you'll go and search for AI and then do that. That is not sustainable, right? Where is your creativity going to come into picture? So these two things are very important.
And you need to have an audience also for that, right? You cannot just
Yes,
pick up a topic which interests you, but there's no one
correct,
to listen to it.
correct. And if you are having like so many content creators on LinkedIn, you need to have that kind of a USP what you want to write. Otherwise, why will people come to you to read another post, right? Because they have already read. Just an example, Agile is dead. Everyone is talking about Agile is dead. If you're not going to give a new perspective to them, why will they read your post? They'll just scroll up.
It's just old wine in a new bottle. So we
Yes,
have to be a differentiator, stand out.
correct. Because as I mentioned, right, you're not kind of giving a new message, right? The message is same. So for an example, if you are talking about Scrum Master, even I am talking about Scrum Master, the message is same, but how are you presenting and packaging it, right? That is what your USP is.
Wow. Ramya. How would you suggest like a person to start? What are the first few steps they should take toward personal branding? We heard
Yes,
your journey, but like a person neutral, what should they do in the first few steps?
correct. So it depends upon which field you are in. So if I have to talk about say Scrum Master and Agile Coach, because I believe that is what your audiences are, right? So for them, as I mentioned, first of all, you need to show up every day. And I know that when we say that you need to post every day, one will not have courage to post something, right? Because one thing is we fear a lot, and we fear our confidence, we fear our judgment of others, we fear kind of fear of insecurity, lot of things that come into play, right? But then what I will suggest is start with liking someone else's post. That is as simple as that can get. Start liking that post or write, and then go to next level. Then start writing one comment, right? Slowly and slowly, you will gain some confidence. When other people start even liking your comment, right? That's when you will feel that ounce of confidence in you. So that's the steps that you need to take. And when you start posting, you need not write a big paragraphs. Just write one liner or two liner, even that is enough. But when you write, be authentic. This is very important. Being authentic is very important. You don't want to show who you are not. For an example, if you meet me personally, I'll be the same person what I am on over LinkedIn. So you don't want to surprise people saying that, okay, I'm wearing this mask on LinkedIn, this is what I am, and in personal life, this is what I am. You won't be able to sustain that again. So be what you are or who you are, right? And best thing is don't plan so much about what I need to post. I never plan my posts. I never schedule my posts. So whatever come to my mind at that point, I just open LinkedIn, I start typing it.
Hmm.
That's what I do. I never plan my posts because it will when you plan so much, you will kill the essence of writing it and the joy of writing. So just whatever I observe, and this is again is what I try to do. I'm a pattern recognition. So what I try to do, whatever I do throughout my day, I try to find a pattern in it. Okay, this is what I did for this situation. Oh, this is what I did in this situation. This has been my pattern. That helps me write. Second thing is whatever I observe in a day with my teams, in the office or even in my personal life around, I try to relate it to agile ways of working.
Hmm.
So that's what gives me content for writing. I don't plan. I don't think much about it. I just whatever I observe, if it making sense for me. Obviously, I for any beginners, they'll have to validate their knowledge, so they can do a bit of R&D before they write anything. So this is how you start. It could be, for an example, yesterday's post I wrote, right. Don't sell plans, sell outcomes. This is
Exactly.
out of just a discussion. I told this randomly, and I felt okay. This is a good line. Let me write about it. So I kind of built up few lines. Why what was the scenario in which I spoke about it? So without divulging any details of that scenarios or characters or actors or maybe people, whatever it was the message, I just posted it. So that's how you can start. But if you are very systematic person and not so creative, then maybe you can plan for it. Maybe easiest way to do is prepare an Excel sheet. This is what I learned on one of the sessions that I had attended. Prepare a list of what, why, and how. Say, pick your niche, pick your topic, start writing how. For an example, if it is about Scrum Master, how to start the journey of Scrum Master? How do I attend the training? How do I do R&D for the training? How do I get certification? How do I get my job? So write all the hows, and that will become your post for every day.
Hmm.
So you can go as simple as that. If you are a very structured person, that no, I cannot be so intuitive and so random or a kind of a improvise so much. So you can do the structured effort.
So I keep hearing that it's LinkedIn and being active on LinkedIn, making your presence felt on LinkedIn, which is the first and foremost important thing.
Correct.
And
Because, sorry, please go ahead. Yeah.
now I was just saying that, and that's it could be as simple as just commenting on someone's post, putting one liner. Don't feel that you are being judged. Just start it, and you will improvise as you go.
Correct, correct. And also one more thing is that uh, you go ahead and like other people's posts. So when you reach certain level of whatever personal branding, right? Don't restrict yourself that okay, why should I like so and so person's post, or why should I engage on other people's post, right? Where if you start thinking that who will why will others do it on your post, right? So it should be a collaborative effort and not a kind of a competitive thing, right? So try to collaborate with people. Don't treat others like a competition, saying that okay, this person has got these many followers, he has got more than me, or maybe I got more than that person, then why should I engage in that person's post, right? If you think that, then that would be your downfall of your personal branding. Then no one will engage on your post.
It's not a
So it
zero
should be
sum game.
mutual. Yeah.
Ramya, you have been a great mentor to many people on their personal branding, including me. I've learned quite a few things
Oh
from you.
no, no, no. Not at
Let
all, Anand. You're being very humble.
people may want to approach you. How are you approachable? How can they reach you?
So obviously, they can reach out to me over LinkedIn. They can reach out to me through our website as well. So they can just drop a message on LinkedIn or maybe website. People can reach out to me in these two mediums, or even email for that matter.
So I'll post your email, LinkedIn, and your website in this podcast
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
out to you. And I'm sure they'll be benefiting a lot, learning from your experience.
Hopefully, hopefully.
Certainly, I'm very sure. Ramya, we can keep going talking and talking because there's so much you have to
Absolutely.
share. But unfortunately, we will pause over here because that will give us another reason to connect again for our next podcast.
Definitely, definitely. Looking forward to it.
Certainly. Thanks, Ramya, once again for giving your valuable time and see you in our next podcast.
Thank you so much, Anand, for this opportunity. Really grateful to you.
Thank you and see you in the next time.